Every spring, you see them appear again, bright yellow heads scattered all across your lawn. And every spring, you do the very same thing. You pull them, you spray them, you fight them off. The dandelion, the weed almost everyone wants gone. But here's what nobody ever told you about it. That dandelion isn't damaging your yard at all. It's quietly repairing it. Underground, where you can't see, it's doing something truly remarkable. Something so useful that gardeners 100 years ago left them on purpose. You've been ripping out one of the hardest working plants in your garden, and all this time you never even knew. Today, you'll finally learn to read what your dandelions have been telling you all along. Welcome back to What the Garden Knows, where your yard has been speaking, and we finally learned to listen. Let's start underground with the very first secret, and honestly, it surprises almost everyone. Look down at your lawn right now and pull up a single blade of grass. The roots are shallow and fine, just a few inches of thin little threads. Now picture the dandelion growing right there beside it in the same soil. Its root is nothing at all like the grass around it. It's a single thick taproot, driving straight down into the earth. In good soil, it can reach a foot deep and sometimes a great deal more. And here is exactly why that matters so much to you. Most lawns are quietly suffering from a hidden problem called compacted soil. Years of mowing, walking, and heavy rain slowly pack the ground down hard. Grass roots simply can't push through that compacted soil, so the grass struggles. But the dandelion's taproot acts just like a living, natural drill. It forces its way straight down through the hard, packed layer that has slowly been choking your grass.
And as it grows thicker, it slowly cracks that dense, packed soil apart. When the plant eventually dies, that root rots away underground, and it leaves behind a deep, open channel running down into the earth. Air moves freely into that channel, and the next rain follows it down. The roots of your grass finally have somewhere soft to go. So that stubborn weed you keep fighting every spring, it's been doing the back-breaking job of loosening your soil for free, a job that gardeners pay good money to do with heavy machines. And believe me, breaking up your soil is only the very beginning. What this little plant pulls up from down there is even more surprising. If you've ever yanked out a dandelion in frustration, tell me in the comments below, and do consider subscribing because we're only just getting to the good part. Now here's the second thing your dandelion is quietly doing far below. It's acting just like a pump, pulling nutrients up from deep in the ground. Remember that long taproot reaching far down below the surface? It's reaching down into a layer your grass can never hope to touch. Deep in the subsoil, minerals sit locked away and out of reach. Calcium, potassium, and iron, nutrients your shallow grass roots will never find. But the dandelion's deep root simply drinks them in from far below. It carries those minerals all the way up into its leaves and flowers. And then, slowly, those leaves and flowers fall and break down on top. As they decompose, the minerals are released right there at the surface, exactly where the roots of your grass are quietly waiting for them. Now stop and really think about what that simple cycle means. The dandelion is mining nutrients from a depth that nothing else can reach,
and delivering them straight up to the rest of your lawn, like free fertilizer. The old-time farmers actually had a special name for plants like this one. They called them dynamic accumulators, nature's own quiet nutrient lifters. They understood that a deep-rooted plant could feed the soil all around it, so every dandelion is quietly enriching the very ground you wanted it gone from. It isn't stealing anything from your lawn at all. It's feeding it. Now for the third secret, and this is where you truly learn to read your yard. Here's the thing. Dandelions don't simply take over just anywhere they like. They show up precisely where the soil underneath needs help. A lawn full of dandelions is sending you one very clear message. It's telling you the ground underneath is compacted, hard, and tired. And it's often telling you the soil there is running low on calcium. Grass weakens in that hard, poor soil and slowly thins right out. And the moment the grass thins, sunlight reaches the bare, open ground. That sunny, bare patch is the dandelion's cue to move in and work. So the plant isn't the cause of your lawn's problem at all. It's only the messenger, pointing straight at the real trouble. And this is the part that most people get exactly backwards. They see the dandelions and assume their lawn is being invaded. But they're simply growing where the lawn was already struggling on its own. Pulling them out without ever fixing that soil changes absolutely nothing. The same hard, hungry ground will just keep growing more of them. So walk outside today and really look at where yours are growing. Along the path, by the driveway, right where the ground is hardest. That's no coincidence. That's your garden telling you exactly where it hurts.
If your yard has just started making a little more sense, you'll love what's next. So do me a quick favor right now and tap that like button. It genuinely helps these little garden secrets reach more people who truly enjoy them. The fourth thing your dandelion does happens above the ground, in plain sight. It feeds the very first bees of spring when they need it most. Think back to early spring, when winter has only barely let go. Most other flowers haven't even dared to bloom yet. The trees are still bare, and the whole garden looks fast asleep. But the dandelion is one of the first to open its bright golden face, and for a cold, hungry bee, that little yellow flower is a lifeline. After a long, hard winter, bees emerge with almost nothing left to eat. The dandelion offers them some of the earliest nectar and pollen of the whole year. A single dandelion flower is actually hundreds of tiny flowers packed tightly together, which means a single bloom is a whole banquet for one tired bee. And it isn't only the honeybees that come either. Early wild bees, hoverflies, and butterflies all visit those very first blooms. So when you clear away every dandelion the moment it appears, you may be taking away the only food source for miles around, and you're doing it at the exact moment the pollinators need it most. Next sunny morning, just step outside and watch a dandelion for 1 minute. Odds are you'll soon see something land softly on it and feed. That one humble little weed is quietly running an entire early spring soup kitchen for the hungry, tired bees. And in the end, your whole garden depends on those bees to thrive. So far, it's loosened your soil, fed it, read it, and saved the bees. But we still haven't even reached the single most astonishing part yet.
Stay right with me, because what comes next changed how I see my own backyard. Number 5 takes us right back beneath the surface again, because down there, the dandelion is quietly fixing how water moves through your yard. Compacted soil has a hidden problem you've almost certainly seen yourself. When it rains hard, the water just runs straight off the top. It pools, it puddles, and it never soaks in where the roots need it. That's because in that packed soil, there's no open path for water to travel down. And this is where the dandelion's deep root earns its keep all over again. As that taproot pushes down, it opens a clear channel through the soil. And all around it, finer little roots branch out in every direction. Each one leaves a tiny tunnel behind as the plant grows and fades. Now picture the very next rainstorm rolling in over your yard. Instead of running off, the water now slips down those open channels. It carries air and moisture deep into the ground, where it's gently stored. And little by little, your soil starts to breathe and drink the way it should. Gardeners actually pay to spike their lawns full of holes for this very reason. They call it aeration, and it costs real time, money, and effort. The dandelion has been doing it root by root, completely for free. After the next rain, just notice where your yard drains well and where it floods. More often than not, the best draining spots are the ones with deep-rooted plants. The 6th secret is all about life you will never see with your own eyes. Beneath every single dandelion, an entire underground community is hard at work. Start with that taproot once more, but think now about what surrounds it. A living root is constantly leaking sugars out into the soil around it.
And those sugars are an absolute feast for the microbes living down there. Billions of tiny living organisms gather all around the root to feed, and in return, they unlock locked-up nutrients and hold the soil together. Then there are the earthworms, the true gardeners of the underground. Worms absolutely love the soft, open channels the dandelion's roots create. They travel up and down those tunnels, mixing and enriching the earth. And every worm leaves behind castings that are pure, rich, natural fertilizer. When the dandelion finally dies, the gift it gives doesn't stop. The entire root decays and slowly becomes food for the soil itself. All that deep organic matter slowly turns into the dark, crumbly, living, healthy ground that every plant loves. And this, season after season, is how poor dirt slowly becomes rich earth. Not from a bag or a bottle, but from plants and the life beneath them. The dandelion sits right at the center of that quiet, invisible cycle, feeding the microbes, sheltering the worms, and building soil every single season. An entire world of repair, all hidden under one flower you wanted to pull. Number 7 might be the one that surprises you most over your morning coffee, because that very weed in your lawn turns out to be one of the most nourishing plants growing anywhere around you. Believe it or not, every single part of the dandelion can actually be eaten. The leaves, the flowers, and the root, all of it is genuine food. And no, we're not talking about some sad little survival snack. Dandelion greens are absolutely packed with vitamins A, C, and K. They carry more of some nutrients than the spinach sitting in your fridge. And they're wonderfully rich in calcium, iron, and potassium too.
And the dandelion, carried in on nothing more than the wind, is one of the very first plants brave enough to arrive. Its tiny seeds drift in on the wind and somehow take hold in places where nothing else possibly can. It drives its root down and begins breaking up that hard, ruined soil. It pulls nutrients up from far below and feeds the very first microbes back into that dead, empty dirt. It opens channels for water and shelters the early life slowly returning home. And slowly, patiently, season after season, it makes that broken ground livable again for all the plants that come after it. And here is truly the most graceful part of the whole story. Once the soil is finally healed, the dandelion's work is quietly done. Other plants move in, the grass returns, and together they shade it out, and a dandelion simply steps back, its long mission now complete. It was never an invader, not once, not ever. It was the quiet repair crew, showing up faithfully, exactly where the land had been broken and needed it the most. So now look again at the dandelions growing in your own yard. They aren't a sign that something is wrong with you at all. They're a sign that nature is already trying to heal the ground beneath you. All this time, the most hated plant on your lawn was the one mending it, loosening the hard soil, feeding it, watering it, and patiently rebuilding the very earth you walk across every single day, working in total silence and asking for absolutely nothing in return. And that is what your garden has been quietly trying to tell you all along. So before you reach for that sprayer next spring, just stop for one moment and ask yourself what your garden might really be trying to tell you. Maybe this year, leave just a few dandelions in a quiet corner of your yard.
Watch the bees arrive and let that deep root do its slow, patient work. Your soil and the whole small world hidden within it will quietly thank you. And if this changed the way you see your yard, subscribe to What the Garden Knows. Every single week, we learn to read one more secret hidden in plain sight. And if you love the creatures that visit your garden, check out Backyard Wildlife Mind. It's where we explore all the wild lives unfolding right outside your window. Thank you so much for listening. And remember, your garden is always speaking.